Have you ever been watching an episode of the podcast and wondered what's in the mug? Well, we're really proud to be partnering with the amazing folks at Azahar Roast House, located right here in Lowville, New York. Azahar Roast House is a family and community-focused coffee roaster bringing you green coffee exclusively from Colombia. And get this, they always have freshly roasted coffee ready to ship directly to your door. You can order now using the link below and in the description. Be sure to check out their subscription page and have amazing coffee automatically shipped to you every month. Again, that's Azahar Roast House, where coffee meets community and growth, which is what this podcast is all about. To learn more, select the link in the description and order today. Welcome to your own house and your own garage.
Yeah, thank you.
It's for anybody
Instant
who doesn't know. When you can't come to us, we'll just come to you. Right. And there's nothing you can say about it.
Right.
And this is my car in the background, right?
Yeah, that's Bridget.
It's not mine. Not mine.
Her name is Bridget. Yeah.
If anybody's wondering about my voice, I mentioned this the last time, but I went to the Yankees game, and this is what happens. You lose your voice. I only screamed for like 5 minutes, and I used to be able to do that when I was younger.
Was that after Judge's
the
home
Judge,
run?
yeah. Mm-hmm. Which, pretty quiet game up until that point.
Yeah.
And then kind of boom.
Yeah.
So now I don't have a voice, which is perfect for podcasting,
Exactly.
which means that you have to talk the entire time.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Well, I figured the best way to start would be to congratulate you on being a Giants fan. And
Yikes. Yeah.
And what has that taught you in life?
Oh, man. How to deal with failure.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. So it's come in handy a few times.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just...
they're a train wreck.
Yeah, they're a train wreck.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit excited about the two new guys.
Okay. Yeah.
Jackson Dart and Cam. So those two guys.
Yeah. And Neighbors when he's not
breaking his legs. So, yeah, there is that. There's a little bit of glimmer of hope there. So,
yeah. Well, you've been a fan for how many years?
Oh, I'm a fan since Joe Morris and Phil Simms and Marc Bellofiore and those guys, and maybe even before then.
Was your dad a Giants fan?
No, my dad was actually a Cowboys fan.
Oh, okay.
So
you just went full opposite.
Yeah, full opposite of that. And when he was a fan at that point, that they were in the 70s, they were very successful. The Giants, not so much.
Right.
So it was kind of painful. But yeah, my dad was a big time Cowboys fan. I really started watching football and getting into the Giants as I got a little bit older in my teens, early 20s, and really started following them and paying attention to the guys that I thought I really liked watching, like Phil Simms, like I just mentioned, Marc Bellofiore, that whole team, Lawrence Taylor, certainly. So a big part of my life has been those Sundays watching the Giants play. I'm usually very calm during those games. And,
why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Because Sharon was just telling me the other day, I'm going out on Sunday. I'm not going to stay here. I'm not going to deal with this.
Right.
But, I'm trying to get a little bit more distance myself a little bit from it because I tend to get it can be stressful. And I deal with enough stress during the week. Sometimes I just don't think I need more on Sunday.
Right. Yeah.
So.
It's fun to watch when they're good, and it's a good game and a good sporting event to watch. But when it's not, man, it can really change your mood pretty fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've had that before where I felt like I I could tell like, oh, I'm a little too invested in this.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, this doesn't actually apply to my life at all, and it's impacting my life like it shouldn't.
Right.
So
it's a good point. And I mean, we're kind of joking around and what have you, but it's a good point where if it becomes counterproductive and stressful, it's not worth it sometimes. So
yeah.
I've been trying to adjust myself to, enjoy the minutes, the moments in the game, and just watch guys compete and play at a high level. And as a Giants fan, it's really hard to you're gonna lose, so it's hard to deal with that. So I just try to take some of those moments out of the games.
Yeah, that's very good of you to pick teams that give you lots of opportunities to work on your patience.
That's exactly right.
How to control your stress.
Exactly right. Yeah,
I guess you could look at it that way for sure. There also is a part where, like, if you don't do it for a living, if you're not a commentator, if you're not an athlete, if you're not involved with the sport somehow, like, there has to be an upper limit of how much time it takes away from your day, or your week. And I know a lot of people who like live, die, bleed, breathe a sports team.
The whole week prep for it, and then that moment of kickoff is just enormous in their lives. At one point in my life, I was close to that, you know, and especially when I was much younger. The year we got married, there was a running joke I had with Sharon about if they don't win the Super Bowl, we are not getting married. And they did. They won the Super Bowl that year. It was 1980.
Close.
Yeah. So,
Man.
so it was a big part of our lives. And it kind of, as the kids came along, I still watched games on Sundays, but it kind of took a back seat to the things we did with the kids on those, during on the weekends. So, but now not so much as it once was, but I still enjoy a nice Sunday sitting on the couch watching football. So.
It must have like nostalgia too, you know. So when you were growing up, was it like, was that a thing?
Huge.
Or not? Yeah,
Sundays, huge.
Okay.
Yeah. My mom making spaghetti sauce and smelling it throughout the house and watching football downstairs. It was usually the Giants that were on. My dad would have the TV on so he could watch the scores that was going on throughout the league. And occasionally we'd get the Cowboy games because they were a huge team even then. But it was a big part of, that whole Sunday thing during the fall.
My family, and if anybody thinks that I'm talking like Batman, because if I raise my octave, I'll start like crackling. So I'm talking like this to be calm and save my voice. Our family now does that. It's like Sundays, it's kind of expected that we will all get together and hang out and kind of fellowship, and then the game will be on in the background if you want to watch it, or we'll play games or have food. And so that's been actually pretty special. That's more like recent though. Yeah. Because when we were growing up, it was a lot of like you wake up, you go to church, maybe we do lunch somewhere afterwards. I don't remember ever sitting and being like, oh, this is football day. Yeah. But we loved sports. We loved the Yankees. My dad's a big Giants fan.
Yeah, we were big Yankee fans as a kid. Channel 11 WPIX in New York. We'd pick that up on our antenna, and they were a big part of. My dad was constantly watching them. Yeah, that was his kind of way to unwind and relax, to watch sports. Yeah. He looked at it differently than I did. He was not as much invested in the wins and losses. He enjoyed the Yankees winning and the Cowboys winning, but it wouldn't kill him if they lost. He'd pick himself right back up and tough loss and move on.
Yeah.
I tend to get I would get more invested in it.
Yeah. It's so easy to do that. And like everybody has their things, right? So I'm not like going after people who love their sports, and it's an escape from, a lot of problems that people have. it is definitely a de-stressor, and probably more than a stressor.
Yeah.
Except for playoffs, maybe.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do. They, the saying is, "Oh, well, I watch sports to kind of just get away from the mundane, the daily, or the stress, or whatever else is going on in your life." And at the same time, I think that there's some benefit there if you can tie it into family bonding and.
Yeah. If you can, it is a nice thing, to your point, if you can sit down with your family and enjoy the game and not flip out and
right. Which everybody does that. Like everybody does, they get frustrated with the manager and the calls and but that's also kind of part of it.
Last night,
yeah, it's kind of part of it.
Yeah, it is. It's part of the fun and the excitement of it.
Yeah. And how many times has a sports team really carried communities and cities and regions?
Many times.
Have you seen what's the Philadelphia Eagles movie with Mark Wahlberg? Invincible.
Yes, that is an outstanding movie.
Yeah. What an incredible story. Yeah. But how he lifted up Philadelphia in a tough time.
Sure.
Philadelphia was struggling with their manufacturing and all of that stuff. And it was a way for people to kind of,
Yeah, it's a really good point. And I see it even on a local level, high school football teams. Eric, my son Eric, played football for Trumbull High, and that was a big part of our lives during his high school years, to go and watch those games. Even when he moved on to Post, he played at Post University. It was a big part of our lives to go chase him around and watch those games, and you build a lot of friendships during watching your kids play and other parents watching their kids, and we took a lot of joy out of that. Though that, to me, it's funny. I had less stress about the winning and losing. Obviously, more stress about my son. Is he going to get his playing time? Is he going to make good plays? I was more concerned and stressed out about his individual performance. I know that's probably not the right way to think about it, but I'm just being true to how a parent typically feels. I'd stress about his performance. But those are some of the best times of my life, is following my kids around playing sports. Two of my kids participated in sports. Stephanie, not so much, but Jenna and Eric definitely. So yeah, I enjoyed that, and like I said, the winning and losing, not so much stress imparted by that as how the kids performed.
Right. Yeah.
So
I think that when you look at, sometimes you kind of judge other people, right, about how they spend their time and what they do, but there's also a lot of utility. I was watching The Rookie last night. Actually, you've seen that with Dennis Quaid?
I have not seen that.
What? Yeah. Movie night, family movie night. That is just a baseline. He's a teacher who, I think he might have made it to the minor leagues, but got hurt a lot of times. Was a high school chemistry teacher, I think, and was also the baseball coach in Texas, where baseball wasn't really super popular. And his team was not doing super well, didn't really seem to be invested or cared. And he, after practice, went out and threw to the catcher. The catcher's like, "Why don't you throw a few? How are you throwing back in the day? I'd love to catch you." And ends up just popping the mitt.
Yeah.
20 years, 15 years after his college and all that. And so basically the players came up to him and said, "Hey, if we win the district, will you go try out again?" And so he was like, "Okay, whatever."
So that's called The Rookie, that movie?
The Rookie.
Yeah, I'm going to look that up.
And so, so then he goes to the tryout, and then you'll have to watch the movie. I don't want to ruin it. But really interesting subplot there is his relationship with his father, who was a military man, and very cut and dry. Baseball is playtime. That's not real life.
Yeah.
And there's some utility to that too. But yeah, and how sports indirectly taught that father lessons years down the road where he neglected his son's dream, really,
Right.
and encouraged him that was silliness, and then kind of seeing it come full circle. So yeah, you gotta try that. We should watch it sometime.
I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
It's funny. I've been watching more movies. Sharon and I have been watching more movies together as kind of the way to just kind of unwind together, and just getting into whatever it might be, and kind of analyzing the movies together and talking about them as we're watching, and so that's kind of new to us, where we can actually spend the time doing that kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, that's a movie that you got to watch.
Yep.
The Rookie. Favorite sports movie? Go. That's a tough one to just kind of throw on you.
Yeah. Off the top, I just drew a blank now. It's.
I guess I should have given you questions beforehand.
Yeah.
No, it's a tough one.
I really like the whole Rocky series.
Okay.
The first one certainly is probably I would say is my favorite. The first one. I liked that movie right out of the gate when I was a young guy, when I went to see it. And I still enjoy it. We'll watch it now. We'll watch those movies now. Over and over again. So
that's how you know it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And pick little things out of it that you didn't notice before. And
yeah, the repeat factor.
Yeah. What about you? If you had to pick,
that's I'd have to break it down by sport, I think.
Yeah.
Because
that's where my head was going. Okay. I was trying to think about.
Then let's get more specific. Favorite football movie? One jumps out to me right away.
Go. Tell me so I can start. My head can.
Denzel.
Oh, that's.
Remember the Titans.
Yes.
That one gets me. A lot of people would say like Friday Night Lights is another football one. Invincible, Vince Papale story. That's another good one. Yeah.
I saw that movie. I enjoyed that movie.
Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
Powerful. And Denzel's just.
He's an outstanding actor.
Yeah.
Across the board.
Okay. Do you know any baseball ones?
I'm sorry that I'm drawing blanks here.
Well, that's it. You're off the show.
Yeah, I'm off the show.
Okay, so let's see. Bull Durham.
Oh, I watched that. Yeah.
Field of Dreams.
I've watched that too. See, you're triggering now, and
now we're getting those going. Yeah, some of the just iconic baseball movies. There's not a lot of recent ones.
Yeah, and that's the problem, right? There's nothing in recent memory.
Yeah,
that I'm
Hollywood's slacking.
Yeah, I wonder why that is.
Baseball movies.
I wonder why that is. It's interesting.
It is interesting to think about. It's the same with they talk about Christmas songs. Like, how come there's not another White Christmas?
Right. Right.
Yeah, maybe our generations are lacking creativity a little bit. It's also hard to replicate greatness.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about. But my favorite basketball movie is probably Glory Road. Have you ever seen that?
I have not seen that. Yeah.
We are going to have a marathon sports movie.
Yeah.
Marathon.
I can't say I seek them out because it's not something that Sharon's interested in. So
Right. So you have had to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And now all you watch is rom-coms.
Yeah.
No. So what kind of movies do you like?
We watch a lot of suspense and
like action stuff.
Action stuff, yeah.
Okay.
We'll watch anything that Denzel is in. Guys like that.
Yep.
The Equalizer stuff. We'll watch that. I know they're violent, but but we like the characters he portrays. We watched a really crazy comedy the other night. Police Squad. The new one.
I don't know what it is.
With Liam Neeson.
Okay.
Frank Drebin playing the character. Yep. Frank Drebin. I laughed so hard I nearly bust a gut. So, any kind of just sometimes just for foolishness, for the sake of, just to not
To
have
laugh
to
a little
think,
bit.
not
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
really think.
Yeah.
And so we'll do things like that. But a lot of action movies that, whatever we find on there.
Yeah.
And,
I do find that I will look for movies who have certain actors.
yeah.
Sometimes that ruins it for people. Like if an actor like Viggo Mortensen, let's say, who was in Lord of the Rings, which is like one of the biggest films of all time, they can't watch him in a different movie.
Yeah, they can.
It ruins it.
He's right. He's
Like
set
all they
as a
see is
particular
Aragorn.
character.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't really do that so much. I kind of get invested in the character, but I love Russell Crowe. I love Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson's another one. Really good. Tom Hanks.
Liam Neeson played this role. Straight up slapstick comedy, and he was just outstanding.
Because that's not usually his shtick. Like his shtick is like action, cool dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But he was just outstanding in it. And Pam Anderson was in that.
Okay.
And she was actually very, very funny.
That's great.
In the movie as well. So
yeah, kind of jumping genres and being able to still kind of do a good job. Yeah. Well, for anybody who doesn't know, you're my father-in-law. I think people should have figured that out by now. But if they didn't, you were on once before with Nick. That was really fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
We got a lot into kind of your work background, leadership, and stuff like that. But I figured it would be cool. We are right next to the car. What kind of car is this?
So that is, well, first I'll start with her name. Her name is Bridget.
Bridget. Any good car has to be named.
Has to be named.
Okay.
It's weird. I name my machines, and people think I'm odd, but I name my machines.
Yep.
So it's a 2018 Mustang GT. And it is, I've owned a lot of cars in my life. This is my favorite car here. It's a really beautiful, in my opinion, it's a beautiful car. It's the shape and the performance. I really enjoy it. It's been, it started out life as a garage princess, but now she's working. She brings me to work every day, so I get to drive her every day, and I really enjoy that.
Is there a garage princess? Is that what you said?
A garage princess, yeah.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have a lot of miles on her, but now she's
not a lot of drivers.
She's working a little bit.
She hasn't had a lot of drivers either.
No, I don't let just anybody drive it. So.
That's right. Well, I feel very honored to be one of those people who have gotten to drive.
Yeah.
Unbelievable power and torque under the hood.
Yeah.
I've never experienced that in a car before. And
by today's standards, there are cars that are much, much faster than that now. But I still get a kick out of this car. And,
Have you always? Is cars been always a love of yours?
Since my dad would work on cars when I was a little kid. My dad was great at keeping things running.
Okay.
So he was in his garage all the time, fixing and tuning up and messing. And I was both me and my younger brother, Mike, would spend a lot of time just hanging with my dad as he worked on cars, helping him work on the cars.
Uh-huh.
So I got into it then, washing. He was very... he wanted his cars clean all the time, so we'd wash the cars with him, for him, and I still carry that kind of attention to detail. You could see the cars like clean and
I don't think I've ever seen a vehicle maintained like close up like this.
I take a lot of I utilize that as just an escape. But I do pay a lot of attention to it, and I enjoy that time. Just get to think a little bit while I'm taking care of my car. So, yeah.
What other cars have you had?
I have had Mustangs like this. I've had earlier versions of it. I've had Camaros. I had a Corvette at one point. I had a really cool car called a Impala SS 1996 Impala SS, big black 4-door car with a V8 in it. That was a really cool
They
car.
don't make cars like that anymore, do they?
No, it was a really sweet car. It was black, gray interior. It was a 4-door large sedan, but with a lot of power.
Yeah.
Really, really nice car. And I had a 1988 Corvette with a removable top, which I love that car. That was a 4-speed.
Okay.
Yeah, I had that for a long period of time. There's a picture of a car up there that was called a Mercury Capri, same kind of family as Mustang. That was a 1982. I got that when I was 20 years old.
That wasn't your first? That was...
No.
Okay.
And my dad and I went and looked at that car together, and I bought that used. I learned a lot about negotiating and how to negotiate from my dad doing deals like that.
Okay.
My dad was a master at negotiating and trying to get the best possible deal. So yeah, those were the good memories about watching my dad try to, negotiate the best possible price on something.
Yeah.
So we would do those things together. He always wanted to be involved. If I'd go and look at a car, he'd want to know what I was looking at, and he'd want to help me along with that. So I always welcomed that.
Oh, sure.
He wasn't overbearing to me that way, but it was more of a, hey, Dad, I'm thinking of this, and I started talking to this guy, and he'd tag along and get in the middle of it with me. So yeah, good memories of those kinds of things.
Was that like anytime, in your life up obviously to his passing, where when something would come up, you'd want like his advice, his opinion, like one of the first things? A lot of guys say that about their dads.
Yeah, I turned to him first, and I was only 26 when he passed, so I was still a young, very young guy. So I would seek his advice on things, and turn to him first. Yeah, I miss that a lot. But it's interesting because it's turned now. My kids will come and ask me what I think of certain things. The girls come to me, and I'm sure you know this, but they're both of them. They come to me and they ask me things, and they ask my opinion on stuff. And I love that.
Yeah.
I learn a lot about them, and I think they learn about me. And sometimes I think they listen to me. Sometimes I think they always listen to me, and they weigh it. Now, as adults, as really smart women, they weigh it, and that's what I really want from them. That's what you can hope for, is that they weigh what your advice is. You don't necessarily always have to follow it, but to at least weigh it. And I think they do.
Yeah, you don't want to be like an orator or a dictator of what they do.
No.
And I think that it's a real testament to good work done from a father when their child cares what they think.
Yeah.
And values their opinion, because you would be hard pressed to find that as the norm in society. Because Corwin Chrisman was on, and he had said, when you don't instill value and you don't, take what you're doing with your kids seriously and telling them how much you love them and giving them that attention and that affirmation, he goes, if you don't give that to them, they'll go get it somewhere else.
Yes.
And the same applies with this. You've laid the groundwork for your opinion to matter. And that means that you didn't abuse it in the past, because that is how you deviate.
Right.
That's how you can become more of an oppressive figure in your kids' lives. And the fact that you were able to give them that means they didn't have to go out into the world and try to find that. And most of the time when people do that, like it's not great.
Yeah.
Actors, there's, malfeasance. There's bad actors,
Yeah.
people trying to take advantage
Take
of you.
advantage.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think that's just really good. It's really good advice. Like,
Yeah.
be careful with that.
We talk about it. My wife and I talk, Sharon and I talk about, we know the girls are in a good place and they're going in the right direction. Little things that we would like to go in one direction might go in a slightly different direction, but we always say to each other, it's all good. We planted what we thought was right. They weighed it and they made their decision. And we're respectful of that. We understand that. But just to be able to like have those conversations with your adult children where they come and seek your advice and you give it, whether they follow it or not, we know they measure it.
Yeah. So. I can't think of a time where, man, I'm trying to think of put myself in that position. And I don't remember a time when my parents would have come to me and told me, this is how you should do it.
Yeah. We do not do that. We don't tell our kids, you should do this or you must do that. When they seek our opinion, we will provide it. It's our duty to do that. I feel as a parent, even as a parent of adult children and accomplished children, when they seek advice, it's our duty to give them our honest opinion. I just did it with my other daughter, with Jenna. She asked me something, I gave her my thoughts, or the conversation evolved, and I gave her my thoughts on it, and I told her flat out, I owe you what I think. Honesty, even if it's not what you want to hear. I am, a lot of parents, the relationship, and for one reason or another, it's not there where a parent feels safe giving advice that they think is contrary to what their kids want to hear. I don't have that problem with my kids. I can tell them what I think, both of them. Stephanie, she'll, if I tell her something that maybe she doesn't necessarily agree with, she'll tell me, she'll come right back at me and say, I don't know if I agree with that. Okay. I don't agree with that. Yep. And I appreciate that too. Right. That's really,
well, you know where you stand.
Yeah.
Like, there's no black and there's no gray area, right? Yeah.
And there's no fear of damaging a relationship because I'm honest with my kids. Right. I feel like I can tell both of them exactly what I feel and what I think about a certain situation without fear of them pushing back in a way that will damage a relationship. Right. I feel our relationships now are I'm so grateful for the relationships with them. And I look forward to the different types of conversations we have, whether they're serious things or whether we're messing around and joking. They're both very funny kids, and they make me laugh all the time.
Yep.
We're involved in an ongoing barrage of text messages day in and day out. Yeah. And I'll be in the middle of work and I'll be eyeballing my phone because something inevitably is going to come through that's going to make me laugh at the wrong time.
Right, yeah. Your boss says something important in a meeting and you're laughing at him.
But I absolutely love that. And I wouldn't trade that for anything. I look at those texts and I look forward to them. And I don't always respond to them, but so
that's a pretty cool thing. Like for your adult children to be in that kind of relationship with your parents. A lot of people will say, and I've heard it on the podcast a bunch of times, about how you'll know how good of a parent you are by watching your kids parent, which is interesting.
Yeah.
You know, because when when you're a parent for the first time, you don't know anything. You know, like you're just kind of flying. Is it by the seat of your pants? Is that what they say?
It's by the yes, exactly.
Okay. Like you're just kind of learning. You're on the go. And like, everybody gives you all kinds of information, and you're supposed to filter it in and out with your specific situation. But the truth is like we're all just kind of
feeling it out. Figuring it out. It's interesting that you said that because sometimes I don't look at it the way you said. You can kind of judge how you parented by how your kids parent. It's funny. I sometimes think of it as, wow, they're good parents in spite of what I did.
Right. Every parent says that. Yeah. Yep.
But they both are very good. They're good mothers. I'm especially proud of them, how they both adapt to their unique situations. They parent very differently.
Yep.
But both effectively, and both exactly how if you were to ask us 20 years ago, 25 years ago, how one would act versus the other, this is exactly how it was supposed to turn out.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
You should have wrote that down. Maybe I should write that down in a few years of what I think, you know.
Dude, you got your hands full with those two, with your two girls. They are beautiful. I'm starting to see a little bit of Steph in G.
Yeah.
She's something. The little toughness there. I saw her kind of give Cece a little beat down because I forgot what she was doing. But
that happens a lot. The second born's beat up on the older. Yeah. My brother called her. I mean, I wasn't a firstborn, but there was 6 and 8 years between me and my older brother, so kind of a firstborn. Because by the time I was 12, they were 18 and 20. You know, so I had younger siblings very much closer to me. But Calder was like when we were 10 and 12.
Yeah, you were after each other. Yeah.
Like he probably would just take me 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
He was just crazy strong.
Oh, he is a freak of nature, your brother.
Yeah, he is.
He is an absolute freak of nature. Yeah.
But
he's a very impressive athlete.
Yeah,
too.
he is.
I mean, you are. He is. He's very impressive.
He's one of my favorite athletes of all time.
I love to watch you guys play.
Yeah.
Both of you guys. He's a freak of nature.
Yeah, he is. And he's the most unassuming highest tier athlete. Like, doesn't matter what he does. I told you about the 5K that we ran.
That is the most unbelievable story, and I love that story. I tell that story to people.
I'll tell the story.
Go ahead, you tell it.
Ocean City, Maryland, 2019, because Stephanie and I were engaged in Ocean City. Yeah. And there was a Spartan race on the beach, Ocean City, Maryland. Well, we just so happened to be there, so we're like, let's do it. Calder and I were like, let's just go do it. And it wasn't like, oh, it's in 2 days, let's do it. It was like, oh, the race just started. Let's go 2 miles back to our hotel, get changed, come back for the afternoon one. That was going to start in like an hour, and we barely made it for that. But just spare the moment. So fun. Didn't train. No experience with Spartan races or 5Ks. Not super long. It's a sprint.
So Spartan race is what?
So Spartan race is an obstacle endurance program. So they'll have, I think the one that we had 20 something obstacles in a 5K, and that would look like wall balls, jumping over large barriers, fireman's carries through the beach, throwing a spear into a target, rope climbs, monkey bars, like those kinds of things. Pretty hard stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty difficult stuff. So the open series, which is like the professional athletes that compete for prize money, they started in the morning, but all their times were posted. And so this is back to Calder. We started, and almost immediately I was behind him. He's just so fast. He's so like what's a good word? Not compressed, but like
He's compact.
that's the word I wanted.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
compact. Yes. He's so compact and energetic.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect combination of strength and speed.
Yeah.
And I'm bragging on him a lot right now. He's going to probably hear this. And he should. You deserve it. So he takes off, and I'm just trying to keep up. And almost at every different obstacle, he's waiting for me.
Yeah.
So, like, he starts running and does something. I do it, and I have to do extra stuff because I didn't do it right. He's standing there waiting for me.
Yeah.
Like, we still had pretty good time. We were still moving pretty good. On the monkey bars, he just, like,
Yeah.
that's
where
spinning
that
around like for fun. And
Yeah.
anyway, so lightweight. So he was wearing Crocs for the entire thing. Crocs.
Yeah.
And we finished, I think, like 5 or 7 minutes behind some of the top tier that had gone earlier in the morning. He was in Crocs waiting for me.
Yeah. That is.
He had a guy running around that was part of the media team. He's like, look at Calder out here. This guy's killing the course in Crocs. Like, look at him.
Yeah.
And he's like doing the Irish jump up and like click his heels. Smash me. Yeah, like just crazy.
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, like that's Calder.
Yeah.
The whole time they're recording, my mom and Stephanie were there watching. The whole time they're recording. And my wife, your daughter, Stephanie, the whole time, Calder, wow, you're amazing.
Oh, that's good. That had to hurt.
Unbelievable. And I'm just like,
hello.
I'm over here too. Missing the spear toss
Yeah.
8 times. Anyway, go ahead.
Now, I have a little quick story about Calder that stuck with me and speaks to his character that I know is there. I went snowmobiling, and couple of us went out. First time I actually went snowmobiling on my own machine ever. And this was a couple years ago.
I was going to ask you if that was the first time.
Yeah,
awesome.
which I absolutely loved, and I definitely want to do that again.
Yeah.
But Calder was genuinely concerned about, hey, are you good? And he kept checking on me. Hey, you good? Your hand's good? Cold? You good? You okay? And I found that like so impressive that that young guy thought about, hey, there's this guy, this older guy, and I'm just gonna look out for him. And see how he's doing, and it stuck with me about him. And I've come to realize that's what he's all about. He's just a remarkable young man.
Yeah. He is. He's very intentional at caring for people.
Yeah,
Like you can see that, and what a great quality.
yeah. He's a great dad too, like you.
Yep.
You're a great dad. I love how the girls are so drawn to you and want to be with you. It reminds me very much. Sharon showed me a little, I think it was a picture or video of mowing a lawn where the girls were just hanging out there with you and working on the deck. And it reminded me very much of how my girls were with me. So it's such a great relationship.
It's the good old days that everybody talks about. And I think the biggest takeaway that I've had that's impacting my daily life from this podcast was people coming on and just, you hear that all the time, right? You hear you guys are living in, like, this is the good time. Like, these are the good old days, soak them up because by tomorrow they're going to be grown and they're going to be gone. And everybody will say, oh, I also heard that when I was growing up. But it was astonishing how quick it was gone. Like, they're little for a very
short period of time.
So like you better be in the moment and take that time super seriously, because when you're 80, you're going to wish that you didn't push them aside to go and get some stupid meaningless project done that you don't even remember a decade from now.
Right.
You're going to remember though when they said, "Daddy, come play with me," and you dropped what you were doing
to go to
and
built a moment out of that, right?
Because that's what lasts.
Yeah, and perhaps even more special is when you incorporate them into those things that you do daily. Like I love that Stephanie cooks with the girls.
Yeah.
Takes the time.
Because it takes more time.
It's
Like, it's
yeah, and
like
it's
if
okay.
you're the kind of
It's okay.
personality that,
But
yeah.
I love that about Steph, that she's so patient to be able to do that. You think her personality wouldn't be such, but she is absolutely patient that way, and it's enormous.
Yeah. It's just dollar bills in the bank for later, you know, and you know that investment's going to come through. There's nothing more meaningful than investing in your kids, and those moments are huge.
Yeah.
You know, Nick talked about in one of our early podcasts about how he struggled with the fact that, like, when he would get home from work, there was stuff that had to be done, and his kids would be pulling him different directions or want to come do the thing with him that was going to then make it 3 times longer than it normally was. And Corwin, again, to reference that episode again, was really encouraging him, like, look, man, like, you're affecting souls at this point. Like, it's not just about bringing them along so that they do stuff with you. You remember when your dad worked on cars. Like, how valuable was the time that you guys spent together and the skills?
Yeah.
And if he would have just said, no, I'm in the garage, you know, you got to go do something else. Go make yourself busy. Man, I mean, what's the point of being here?
Yeah. Yeah. And I brought up the point about, you know, incorporating them into the things that you do, that you have to do in life, because there are certain, you know, you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to be responsible and provide for your family. And my dad found a way to incorporate at least some of that into his relationship with us. My dad was old school, so he worked a lot of hours and was away at work and doing things that way, that he wasn't always around every single minute of the day, but a lot of meaningful time with us.
But the impact of that is so much deeper than just quality time, even, which is so valuable in and of itself. But it's, my dad wants to be with me.
Yeah.
Right? It's, my dad loves me. My dad would rather spend his time with nobody else.
Yeah.
And like, that is what I want my girls to know.
Yeah.
And that is what this podcast and the guests that have come on here and shared, and you've shared, like, I'll think about that every time.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to sit on the couch and watch a game and not play with the magnetiles.
Yeah.
When your daughter wants you to come play.
Yeah.
Like, it's easy to say no.
It is very easy to say no and tune them out.
Yeah.
So I want to know, what's with the Italian names with the girls?
With our girls?
Yeah.
That's all your daughter.
It's really cool.
It is cool, right?
It's really cool. And
yeah, I like it.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but it brings a certain sense of joy to us that you guys did that and honored our heritage, my side. Really cool that you guys did that.
Yeah. That was her thing. And I was fully on board. But there was a part of it that was not just the way the names sound, but what they represent.
Yeah.
A little bit. Like, this is kind of a look back to your history and your family's history and both sides.
Yeah.
And Stephanie's history and kind of, I think that's pretty cool. And like, from my side of the family, like, we're basically all mutts anyway from Europe, but it felt really cool for me to be able to honor her wish that way and your side of the family. And I love them. I love those names.
No, like, they're the most beautiful.
I tell people
names.
their names, and they're just like,
they're floored by it.
Yeah,
they're floored
like,
by
wow,
it.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds Italian. I'm like, and then my first thing is, that's from her mama's side, and that's from, you know, she's Italian and her family's Italian. So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, to honor that Italian heritage. Today's a good day to be an Italian, by the way. I don't know if you saw what President Trump did.
What did he do?
He signed an order bringing back Columbus Day and calling it Columbus Day.
Officially.
So
Yep.
officially, yeah.
Yep.
So for Italian Americans, that's a big thing.
Okay.
It's
That makes
a really
sense.
good day to be Italian.
Yep.
But yeah, we appreciate that heritage is instilled in the girls. We're both Sharon and I are proud of our background and our heritage and our Italian heritages, especially. And I know you had the girls baptized as well, and that's big for us too. So, yeah,
It turns out it is a commandment to honor your father and your mother. So like,
yeah,
and that was important to me too, because like people get so tied up in all the religious line drawing, like,
yeah,
and I just thought that, and especially in that way, to do it from being raised in more Protestant, backgrounds, to be able to show that not only to my wife, but to my family and to my kids. And my family is very much on board with that as well. Like the amount of stuff we ostracize each other from that don't matter
yeah,
is like significant amount of all of it.
yeah,
Right. Especially when you start looking like Protestant Catholic, or, all of the ones that butt heads a lot. It's like, actually, most of that doesn't matter.
doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look at the difference more as like, okay, Catholics are more, there's more structure to the worship, and formality to it, but it's the same.
Yeah. Well,
It's the same.
It's not about the rules. It's about a relationship.
Yeah.
And there's lots of Protestants who don't have that relationship.
Yeah.
And haven't accepted Christ and live for Christ. And on the other side, there's tons of that do and that don't, and on both sides. And like, why are we tearing each other apart over some of this stuff? Yeah, it's just silly. But I definitely felt like that was important to you guys, and that was important to her, so it's important to me.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I know you made Steph very happy with that, about that. It's like I said, a good day to be Italian.
Yep.
So.
Yep. I have a question for you about raising daughters specifically, because I have daughters. So I'm going to pick everybody's brain who has daughters. Sorry. I don't want to knock over my beautiful set. When they were growing up, and you have a son and two daughters, so you know the differences between boys and girls. I only have girls. Did you feel like your protective nature was just like 10x?
Through the roof.
Okay.
And still is.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you starting to feel that now? Do you start to feel
since
like
the moment they were born,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, nobody's allowed to hurt them.
Yeah, no.
I'm sure everybody feels that way
no,
with all
you're-
their kids.
Right.
But there's something unique to the father-daughter relationship that is multidimensional in the fact that you are what their standard of what a man should look like is
Yes.
represented in their life. I don't know if any of that made any sense.
No,
but
you become the model of what
yeah,
a man is supposed to be, whether
Right.
good or bad, right? So you gotta
100%.
you gotta
yeah,
think about how you want to behave in front of your daughters, and
yeah,
I was protective of my girls. I still am. I'm grateful that I have two really good son-in-laws who are protective of their wives and their children. Even as my kids grew, I maintained that. I still I still feel that sense of I have an obligation to protect them, even though they have their own guys who do a better job than I can do now. But I still feel that obligation to somehow protect my daughters.
That's kind of where I wanted that to go, because obviously I'm very far from having to do that, to relinquish that responsibility to some degree. How is that translated when they're getting older, they're getting married? The symbolism of the altar, walking down the aisle at the altar, is
hard.
It's not my responsibility anymore. Here you go.
It was, and I will be honest with you because I love you, but it's hard to me. It wasn't, it's not my responsibility anymore. Here you go. It was more,
right.
I don't want to give up the responsibility.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So
I can understand that.
yeah.
Like, I'm thinking about my girls.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was hard. What makes it easier is as your son-in-law displays the character that you hope for and you see it, you become comfortable. You're like, okay,
right,
he's got it. I can relax a little bit. He's got it. And that's how I feel. But hard. A very difficult process getting to that, and then that actual handoff I found very difficult.
Yeah.
But it's okay. It's okay. It's supposed to be.
Yep. There was in our wedding video, you're bringing her down the aisle, and it's funny because everybody has so different reactions, and you were just like stone cold.
Yeah.
And I could tell watching that video back. Obviously, in the moment, I didn't notice anything, but I could tell in the back you were like, these are the hardest footsteps
Yes.
like I've ever taken.
It was like my feet weighed a ton.
You're really freaking me out for when I have to do it for my girls.
No, I don't want to sugarcoat it for you.
I love
because
that.
the stronger the relationship you have with your daughters, the harder that journey, that little journey becomes.
Yeah.
And that's how you want it, though.
Sure.
Because you know that your relationship with your daughter is on good footing, if that's how you feel. I never felt like they were a burden to me that I wanted to unload on someone else. I never felt that. I felt it was my duty to protect and to be that father that protected them. But yeah, it's now it's a comfortable feeling, especially when you know they have good husbands who care and care about them, love them, and take care of them. So I don't have worries that way. Father worries about what is the nature and the character of the man that your daughter is marrying. A father worries very much about that. And you have to, that trust comes over a period of time, doesn't come immediately. Even when you hand your daughter off, they're still in the back of your head. Is this right for her? Is
right.
But this goes back to a point you had made earlier about how you raise your daughters right from the get-go, that they make good decisions on their own. They weigh your input and they make good decisions, so that you as you go through that doubt in your mind, you can think about, hey, my daughter, I raised her right. I helped her learn how to think and make good decisions. So now she's made a big decision here. You have to trust. You have to trust her. You have to trust God when you hand off. But that was a tough transition for me, for both girls, for sure.
Yeah.
And I thought, once I had gone through it with Jenna, I thought it'd be a bit easier with Stephanie, just because I had come to grips with the process and understood what it was. It wasn't. It wasn't any easier. So
I think you hit the nail. Like, model the behavior of what a godly man is supposed to look like. Do your due diligence. Like, take it extremely serious, because it is. And then when they go out, and hopefully when they go out and start looking for a mate, that they are looking for those same qualities.
Yeah, those same kind of qualities.
And like, everybody's fallen. Everybody makes mistakes all the time. And, it's you do the best that you can. And I think that if that's your mindset, then that's already, like, you're starting on second base.
Right.
Like, that's already way ahead of the curve.
Right.
And then to, take in information like I'm taking in right now, like, take it seriously from the beginning and model that out. So when someday I heard a comedian, I don't know who it was, maybe Whitney Cummings, somebody who was kind of like talking about this from the daughter's perspective, who was like, when the dirtbags come around, and there's lots of those out there, when they come around trying to influence your daughter or whatever, be like, no, man, get out of here. Like, you're nothing near my dad.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even close.
Yeah. Or
Like,
they process it right, and they're like, huh. Yeah, there's a big difference there. That's not it.
Yep. And I mean, that's so easy to say, but a lot of fathers have done a really good job. And then when they're, they haven't had that result, and that's just kind of, has to be said, I think, too. But like, from a parent perspective, just try.
Yeah.
Like, good parenting's hard, especially for good parents. You hear that all the time, and that's true. Like, it's easy to put them in front of a tablet all day and go and do your thing and not pay attention to them.
Ask Stephanie about the Giove's story, where she worked at the pizza place.
Ooh. You gonna tell it?
I could tell it if you
tell
want.
it.
Yeah. So she worked for a pizza place in Trumbull, and I forgot the exact circumstances, but she went in. We bought pizzas from the place. She was working there, and we bought pizzas for something we were doing, and she went in and picked up the pizzas, and I think she expected that she was going to get sodas with the pizzas, and she didn't get sodas. And the guy that was her boss kind of gave her a hard time. And I was in the car, sitting in the car, and she came out, and I could tell. And I looked at her, I'm like, she looks like she's upset. Why would she be upset picking up pizzas? So she came in the car, and I said, what's going on? And she's like, he kind of yelled at me a little bit. So,
oh,
no.
really?
So I went in the store.
Yep.
And I let the guy know what I thought about how he treated my daughter. And at the time, she was mortified.
Right, yeah.
She was absolutely mortified by it. And just, she could not believe that I did that. But over the years, she came to realize, oh my God, he's got my back always. No matter what, he's got my back. Mm-hmm. So I think if you ask her about that, that's what she'll say.
Okay.
That it was like she couldn't believe I did it at that point in time. But then she processed it and thought, my dad's got my back.
Yeah. And if you can relay that message, like, that's pretty valuable.
Yeah.
Because now you're in a very secure place of, it's not just me.
Yeah.
I've got somebody who's putting my best interest above themselves. And like, that's what you do when you're a parent. Like, you have that immediate feeling. I say it all the time on here, but you have that immediate feeling like, I'll throw my life down for you right now.
Yeah.
I've never felt that way before. And I was in law enforcement.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally took an oath to do that.
You will die for your daughters easily without hesitation.
Yep. Change your whole entire worldview.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And yeah, so I think about that stuff all the time. I think about my brother Tyler has an example, and this will relate a little bit more to marriage. About there was a decision about that they needed to make, and it was kind of a controversial decision as a family or as a husband and wife to make a big purchase or something like that. And he felt very much like the Lord was telling him, like, you need to go to bat for this to show your wife that you have her back.
Yeah.
And pretty cool.
Yeah.
How powerful that can be
Yeah.
in a relationship. Father, daughter, husband, wife, doesn't matter. Like you sacrifice
Yeah.
for somebody else, and then you tell me how that person feels
Yeah.
about that relationship.
Yeah. So, yeah, ask her about that. She'll tell you that story.
Yeah.
I don't recall all the details, but that's basically it. How it kind of panned out. That's just one instance. But
I can't imagine that the feeling, like kind of going back to what we were saying before about having to kind of relinquish some of that responsibility, because the truth is when your children are pursuing a lifelong mate, like that's a big decision.
yeah,
And that is a hard thing to be like, well, you're an adult and I'll give you my input, but ultimately it's your decision. And then, what do you do if you felt like, what would you do if you felt like she was choosing the wrong thing? Like that is a very difficult.
yeah, it is
place to
very
be.
difficult.
Because I'm sure there's times like when they were growing up when you were like, this is not a good idea.
Yeah,
But I guess how much rein do you give them to go and
yeah. Sometimes you have to be careful. You had made the point earlier. You have to be careful how much you try to exert your will over them,
Right, yeah.
because you can get pushback, and there reaches a point in time where they're old enough to where, you can try to exert your will on them, but you really can't, and and that might boomerang and turn out bad for you and for them. So you have to kind of like measure how you are trying to make your thoughts known to them. I mean, they asked us about input on both of you guys, and we shared our input.
And
you're married. You're married. So
give the details.
but you do it in a way that we like to say we plant the thought, right? We plant it in their heads.
Yeah.
Even now, we plant things, right? Just a little kind of quiet suggestion for them to mull it and think about it. And almost always I can tell when I plant something there or when Sharon plants something.
Yeah.
Even in my 30-year-old and 29-year-old and 31-year-old daughters, I know when I planted something in there and when they considered it, right? I can tell. It's like 99% of the time I know they thought about it.
Yeah.
And you'll develop that too. So you have to kind of measure how you try to exert your influence on them. You have to let them go too, to some extent. Let them make their own decisions. And
one thing that I hear from a lot of, like from the child's perspective, is, they'll say, "Oh, well, I really wanted the approval from my parents, and so I just did whatever they told me to," or the opposite, or I didn't care what they thought, so I went and did my own thing. I think this is just a hot take, and if we're being honest, a lot of times parents will give advice out of pride or give advice out of almost like a narcissistic,
Yes.
I know what's best.
Yes.
You should do what I say.
And to influence a child to do what's in the parents' best interests.
Right. Or even what they conceive to be the best interest of the person, even if it's not right. What I hear from people who have healthy relationships with their parents as adults, which is the ultimate goal, right? When you raise your kids and they grow up and they leave, if they still want to have a relationship with you,
Yeah.
that's the win, you know?
Yeah.
And what I hear is that they may have encouraged thought, they may have planted seeds or given their honest perspective on things, but once a decision was made,
You support it.
right, center, left, or whatever, it was 100% support. Because once it's decided and implemented, the job of the parent isn't to judge. It's to love your children. And then you can deal with whatever's there after. Because if you don't do it that way, when a problem comes and there's bitterness and resentment because, oh, I told you not to do that, told you so, then that relationship is fracturing.
Yeah.
And then it becomes, I haven't talked to my dad in 10 years because we had an argument about a decision I made. And that is what I hear. What you just said is, I'll give my honest, unfiltered view on things, my ideas, so that you think about them, make a good, clear thought, and then ultimately it's up to you. It's your life.
Yeah. We just, over the last couple of years and then just very recently had to go through that exact process, right? Our girls are now far away from us. It could have been really easy to go through that process with them and make it hard on them to make what ultimately was fantastic decisions on. I mean, Stephanie can't be any happier being where she's at. That was really hard for us to have her move far away, right? It's a big impact on our lives. But thinking, looking back on it, a tough time, but ultimately for her and you and the girls, just the best, just a fantastic decision. I wish you guys were closer. I'm not going to lie about that, but right. Right now I don't see it any other way. Right, I see her life there in that beautiful house home that you guys have put together, and now Jenna just made a life-changing decision to move to Florida, and it's again, being honest, this is a time of we're happy, but it is a time of sadness for us too. But we know she made a great decision too, and she weighed all the factors and made a good decision for her family, and we support that 1,000%. But as a parent, those types of decisions that your kids make, they're hard on you. They're tough, and we are adjusting to our new normal. But just very just happy that she's in a good place and Stephanie's in a good place, and that it's coming together for both girls. But there's just being honest, there's sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we miss them. We miss our grandbabies a lot. Thank God for FaceTime.
Yeah. Right.
Thank God for that, because it would be really hard.
Yeah.
But I'm fortunate because I have one especially will contact me, call me, talk to me almost every day, and I love that. I look forward to that. She FaceTimes me over the weekend. She'll probably FaceTime me tomorrow. She gets mad at me because I don't like to do FaceTime for like 18 hours and look at like the phones put down on the table.
Right.
But I think she knows I love
Yeah.
talking to her and seeing the girls that way. Jenna, a little bit less, but I work at the same company as my daughter, so I am during the day at work,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
we'll communicate that way. And sometimes it's serious stuff that we'll talk about on IM, or sometimes it's just messing around with each other. And so, yeah. But yeah, my relationship with my two girls is very special to me, and I pray to God that it continues as long as possible that way, that I have that constant communication and interaction with them. I thrive on that. It's the most important piece of my life, along with my relationship with my wife, is that personal relationship with my two girls. My son, he's here with me. Our relationship is a little bit different. He's a very quiet, introverted guy. So I don't have that, constant open communication with him. I kind of have to pull it out of him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like
Yeah.
what is that like, navigating differences in your kids? Because I can already see some like differences in my girls, and I can't even imagine like in 15 years it's a good chance they'll get completely different. So like, as you're doing things for the first time, like the truth is that, you don't really know who your kids' personalities are for a long time, until they start to communicate and find interests and see what they're into. Or
exactly.
yeah, or maybe they, the introverted extroverted part to me is like, I would struggle with that. Because I'm a little bit more extroverted that way.
Yeah.
And like, I like to goof around, I like to play around, I like to talk, I like to have good conversations. And I think that I would struggle if I had a child that's just not really the way they like to do things. And that's okay too. Because a lot of times you'll see,
There's that buddy right there.
there he is again. A lot of times you'll see that like, when those people get married, they kind of get married to somebody that's opposite them in that way.
Yeah.
I know lots of couples who are, one's very extroverted, one's very introverted. And then like in this example, it's possible that, my daughters, if they're extroverted, could have introverted sons or husbands, sorry. And then my son-in-laws would be introverted. Well, that'd be hard for me, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you go, like, how do you navigate differences like that?
I found that you're not going to really change how God made them.
Yeah.
So they're going to go in their paths, right? And you follow along each one individually. You kind of see how they develop, and then you kind of tailor how you behave, your relationship with them around what they're like. Stephanie and Jenna are different in a lot of ways, similar in a lot of ways, but different in many ways on how they approach things. And so my relationship with the two girls is very different between the two of them. One of the things I'll tell you is one of the things that makes me very happy is their relationship with each other. They're best friends, the two girls, and they continue to carry that, even though they're 1,500 miles apart. That relationship is as strong as I have ever seen it, and how they love each other and communicate with each other and love each other's children. I have never seen anything like that, where Stephanie loves Leo like it's like he's hers.
Yeah.
And the same with Jenna and the girls. I can't say I've seen that kind of, I don't know, maybe I just haven't been out there enough, but that I find remarkable.
Yeah, it's unique.
I
Yep.
find that remarkable. And the closeness of their relationship. But they're different, and I was able to, I think, successfully figure out how to navigate along with Stephanie and at the same time navigate along with Jenna in a different way. One required a little bit of motivation. The other, not so much. She was self-motivated. Jenna was very self-motivated. Stephanie had kind of had to, and we talked about this in the last conversation we had. So as a parent, I don't know if I'm a good parent or not. I like to think I did some good things. I think that was one thing I got right, was I wasn't going to try to say, Steph, this is how you're going to be and you have to go in this direction. I kind of said, okay, I think I understand how she behaves and why she is the way she is, and I'm going to kind of follow along with that and influence it in a way that allows her to develop and flourish with her own skills, her own strengths. Eric is different than the girls in almost every way. He was more of a challenge for me than either one of them. I found it more difficult to influence him and follow along with him. We don't have the same interests, Eric and I. He's not into cars or machines or fixing things, and we've had that conversation. He and I, we're different on a lot of levels. So I found it a little bit more difficult to track along with him. We did find things that were common. Some of the best memories I have as a parent is watching my son participate in sports and actually compete at a high level.
Yeah.
At some of the things he did, where a lot of people figured my son wasn't going to be a very good wrestler, or it wasn't going to be able to play football. But there's something inside of him, and he needs to go and refine this. But there's something inside of him that made him do things that I just didn't think he was going to be able to do. Especially like the wrestling. And I've talked to him about this. He's done things on the wrestling mat. Just the fact that he did it, I find remarkable, and I'm very proud of him. My son wrestled at the varsity level at 170 pounds when he weighed about 152 pounds.
Whoa.
And
okay. That's significant difference.
Yeah. And I think his senior year at 172, at 170 when he weighed about 152 pounds, I think he was 17-8.
Wow.
And he
I don't think I knew that. That's incredible.
He wrestled for the FC Axe and just about got there and lost by a point to a guy who was clearly much bigger than him. And so I've tried to help my son think through that, right? Because he sometimes he looks back at that and says, if I had only done this or if I only done that, maybe I could have. If I had made this move or whatever, maybe I could have.
Yeah, analyze it.
I try to get him to think, no, Eric, that's not the lesson. That's not the lesson to take out of that. The lesson to take out of that is I overachieved. I pushed myself to the limits of what I could do, beyond what I was supposed to do. and take that lesson and apply that to other things in his life.
Yeah.
So that's an ongoing journey with Eric that he's working through, and I'm trying to be part of that.
That's a hard balance. Like if somebody's not naturally inclined to be that way, like how do you, in a fruitful, loving way, push, but not over push?
Yeah.
Like that seems like a tricky balance.
Yeah. And sometimes I think back and, maybe, and I tried to do that. I tried to gently nudge, but maybe I got that wrong, Brock. Maybe the right approach for him was, no, you're going to do this. You are going to do this. You are going to push yourself, and I am going to push you to push yourself. Maybe I should have taken that approach with him.
It's hard to know, though.
It's hard. It's very hard to know. It's very hard to know.
Because that can go south so
very
quick,
quickly.
right?
Very
and
quickly.
then it becomes the battlefield of expectations
Yeah.
with your father. And like, whoa, like the damage that I've seen that do in people's lives is significant.
Yeah.
Whereas I've always equated it to like education, right? When I was in my master's program for education, which I didn't end up going in that field, but they talked a lot about interdisciplinary motivation, interdisciplinary actions. And so like if you learned as a visual learner, well, it doesn't do you any good to read a book.
Right.
If you're naturally inclined to see things with your eyes and retain it in your brain, you're gonna struggle to look at a piece of paper and get that same feeling. And the same is true with people who kind of zone out when they're looking at things, but can really tune into the words, and the words pop out at them, and that's how they retain. The same is true with this. When you push a student or a player that you're coaching, or your son or your daughter, in a way that they don't understand, it will be counterproductive so quick and completely could jeopardize the whole entire thing.
Yeah.
Like we had guys in the on my baseball teams all the way up through, and this is kind of the coach and player analogy, where you could tell that the motivation had to be done different ways for different people. And, you treat everybody with respect, but you maybe don't coach everybody the same way. And this was a point we got to in the podcast quite a few weeks ago. And I'm the kind of person who needs to be pushed. When I'm pushed, I excel. Some people, when they're pushed, they crumble.
Yeah.
And in the same token, if I'm just left to my own devices, I'm not going to reach my full potential all the time, necessarily. A lot of kids are that way. If they don't have anybody pushing them, they're just kind of...
Yeah, they'll just kind of coast with it, yeah.
And so recognizing that in your kids, in your players that you're coaching, in your students that you're teaching is the key.
Yeah.
Because if you can realize who you need to yell at, and that's what's going to bring good things out of them on a baseball field, and you also need to know when somebody knows and they're their own worst critic, you probably don't need to keep coming down on them. Yeah. They respond very differently to the same exact stimulus. And if a coach is a one brush, to paint the entire team with,
it's not going to
go well.
It's not going to work. Yeah.
No. And I think was it you that were? Yeah, I think it was your episode. We were talking about this, about how you have to know who you can push, who not to push.
Yeah.
Know who to give space, who not to. And the same applies in parenting.
Yeah. I do think back and question, maybe I could have done things a bit differently with him. But ultimately, I think for the most part, I made pretty good decisions about how to motivate him, how to push him, how much pressure to apply on him. He applies a lot of pressure on himself.
Right. And so that
he applies a lot of pressure
that becomes
on
a very
himself.
different story, because if somebody is, like I said before, their own worst critic, then maybe they just need encouragement.
Yeah.
And that looks very different than direction.
And that's what I think my son needs is he he needs to understand the remarkable things he has done in his life.
Yeah.
I give you a story about my son. My son decided he was going to play football and played Pop Warner football. He played very well at Pop Warner, and then he decided he wanted to play high school football.
Yep.
And obviously he's a bit undersized. He's my size, so as he went through and wasn't as big as some of the other kids on his team, he came to me and he said, "Hey, Dad, I love football and I want to play football, and I am going to figure out how to get on the field. I don't know yet how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to get on that field." He said that to me. And he decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to learn how to snap. And he became their starting long snapper. So he snapped punts and field goals for Trumbull High. And I just felt like that, him pushing himself in such a way that he figured out how to get on the field. Yep. And how to play. And I try to encourage him now. He's 26 years old, and I try to encourage him now to use that same lesson, apply that to things you're doing now in your life, right? And figure out how you are going to accomplish a goal. Set yourself a goal, and then go and figure out how you're going to get there. Completely different than the girls.
My oldest brother Tyson, Tyson.
Yeah.
He talks, because I think you're being a little hard on yourself. He talks about how if they would have stopped having kids at 3, which he has 6, like a crazy person.
Yeah.
I say like a crazy person, but like a generation ago, that was like not even that many.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he said if we would have stopped at 3, we would have told everybody we had parenting figured out, because their first 3 were very easy, very kind of mild-tempered, obedient, well-mannered, just humble, kind of just easy.
Yeah.
And then his next 3 were like the opposite.
Yeah.
And he was like, it shook his world.
Yeah.
Now, everything I thought I knew about parenting was kind of like, you learn along the way, but it's kind of tossed out the window when it comes to different temperaments and personalities. It's a hard balance.
Yeah.
I don't know how, I don't even know how you would. I think the moral of the story is to pay attention to your kids and how they respond to you.
You have to be keenly in tune with them.
Yeah.
To pick up on those nuances and those differences. And to your point, you can't just use a cookie cutter approach to all of them.
Yep. Also, I think a hack that I've been learning is you can communicate your heart in the situation. Hey, my heart is that you do great. My heart is that, you excel at this, you excel at that. Especially at older ages, how can I facilitate that? Would you like me just to back off and encourage? That's it. Would you like advice? Would you like me to get involved? And then you have to be willing to just do what you say.
Yeah.
If they're like, I just need you to just kind of back off and just be encouraging when I, make initiative, because that's internally motivated or whatever, then you have to stay true to that. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
It turns out interpersonal relationships is difficult.
Yeah, of course.
You'll send philosophers and psychologists spinning around in circles for days. Yeah. But that's good. That's a really good insight. What is one thing that you've learned, the biggest thing you've learned from segueing into marriage? It could be something you've learned about yourself.
So you mean transitioning from when I was pre-married into being married?
Yeah.
So it's so long ago, Brock, that I'm. It's almost hard for me to I can't really think of life without her.
Right.
I think so. So you want to know what I thought was the hardest part?
Yeah.
So the hardest part, I think, is you're not thinking about yourself anymore. You are every decision is. Let me fix it. It becomes about two. I found that hard, transitioning into that. I was very young, so I didn't have a lot of runway where I was really on my own.
Okay. Yeah.
But just the simple things like, what are we going to watch tonight?
Right.
I do not feel like watching this.
Right.
So
Everybody can relate to this.
yeah, just little things like that. She likes chocolate. I hate chocolate. So it took a while to get used to things like that. But our relationship, it was easy to. We got used to it very, very quickly.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can tell. We're married 30. Oh God, good Lord. 1987. So 38 years.
Yeah.
And we're
Good recovery.
Yeah, we're absolutely. No, I know the year. I can't. So many years since that I can't count it.
Yeah.
We're crazy about each other.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
So I feel blessed because of that. I still get butterflies thinking about her. It's really so it wasn't a hard, and I've always felt that way about her. So it wasn't really it wasn't. There wasn't any one thing that was hard, but just those little things kind of got like, what? Yeah. This is
figuring out how to live with another person. That's it's a totally different ball game.
Yeah,
and honestly, like you're talking like micro things, kind of like I don't like chocolate. She likes chocolate. I didn't want to watch that show. She likes that kind of show. But the truth is, on a bigger scale, marriage is sacrifice. It's dying to yourself. It's putting somebody else ahead of you. And like, I know we joke about the little things, but it's clear to me, seeing your relationship from the outside, that that's what you do for each other.
Yeah.
You take yourself away to promote
her more than me, but yes. I mean, you know her.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the whole point. The whole point is healthy relationships that are modeled out that way and saw by their kids get passed down generation to generation.
Yeah.
Like that's when I look at my grandparents, that's what I see. They just serve each other.
Yeah.
That's like all they do. And so what do their kids do? They serve each other.
Right.
And
I love that. I love that that thought process of serving each other. Sharon used that terminology the other day. And it's a really good way to put it, to be of service to each other. Right.
Yeah. And, it's the best. It's biblical. First of all, it's Christ and the church, right?
Yeah.
But it's laying your life down for somebody else and putting them first in all areas and deciding on the outset that this person is going to be uplifted by you. Is, if you can get that right, and I'm still trying to get that right, I'm still like, that's stuff that we always have to be conscious of. If you can figure that out, it's kind of like when you're parenting, a lot of the little stuff doesn't really matter. You love your kids, that's really matters.
Yeah.
Like that's what's going to start them off on third base.
Right.
They're going to be already a mile ahead if you love them.
Yeah.
Like forget about the little practical solutions that you're trying to figure out.
To your point, in a marriage, if your partner is first and you love her more than yourself, the rest of it, the chocolate and vanilla ice cream kind of falls into place, right?
Yeah. Well, it frames your whole the way you look at your relationship with your
Yeah.
spouse, and it reciprocates. Like, that's the interesting thing about it. You would think in today's culture, oh well, if I don't show dominance, I'm going to be walked all over. Well, that's the total wrong way to look at
Yeah.
it, because when you lay yourself down for somebody else, the reciprocal nature of somebody who's well-intentioned is to do the same for you.
Yeah.
And then the blessings just rebound off of each other. And I noticed that in my marriage, when things are going the best, and we have tons of up and downs, but when they're going good, it's because one of us is being unselfish.
Yeah. Yeah. You're
That's as
exactly
simple
right.
as it gets.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you guys think about your relationship in such depth. I will be honest with you, we didn't think of like all these little details and nuances of the relationship the way you guys do, but hearing you talk about it, watching your podcasts and how you bring that out in your guests, we now think about, oh yeah, wait a second. We did that. We approached it that way. We thought about it that way, but we didn't really like put it all together.
Yeah.
So we've learned from your conversations with folks about, yeah, that's what we got right in our relationship. That's what we can work on now, even 38 years into it. How we can be even stronger and better, better husband, better wife. We think about that all the time now.
Yep.
And a lot of that is from what you're doing with this podcast.
Well, I appreciate it. That
Yeah.
makes it worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
We're not
it.
the experts. We're into it 38 years. God willing, we'll be a few more years together.
Yeah.
But we want to grow and be better at it as we move forward.
Yeah, and I think that's the cool part is my dad would say when they were, dating, engaged, married, all that, like, people didn't have these conversations like this, and like it would have saved him 10 years of strife.
Yeah.
And so my whole thing is, if somebody at an earlier stage can hear it now, perhaps you can get your framing right ahead of time.
Yeah.
And that will alleviate suffering, unnecessary suffering, or could help in that capacity. To your point, though, nobody's ever reached the mountaintop.
No, you're
right?
always growing.
Right.
You're always trying to improve. You are always making mistakes, and then you have to learn from those mistakes.
Yeah.
We get stuff wrong all the time in our marriage, and we work on it and we try to fix it. Back in the day, we just kind of muscled through, but now we start, because again, some of this is, your podcast is rubbing off on us. We think about it. We ought to reconsider this and approach it a different way. So yeah,
Cool. Yeah, I love that. It's just nobody reaches the mountaintop alone.
I will tell you, we're at a point now where the momentum is insurmountable. So there's nothing the only thing that will separate us now is death. There's no separating us. And we understand that. The momentum is it's insurmountable, right? There's no, we can fix anything. Yeah. Anything that comes our way, we will adjust to it, overcome it. So I think that comes with just the time and growing together. And we're fortunate in that we're not tired of each other in any way. We still laugh like we did when we were 22 years old together. At the craziest things too, so yeah, it's a growing process, but that, like I said, that momentum becomes insurmountable. It's
It is another good analogy. We just had Dr. Vora on, and he has scaled all the 7 peaks, 7 summits, which is the highest point on every continent. So it's Everest, it's Kilimanjaro, it's Denali, it's all of the, all of them. And then all of the Adirondack Mountains, all the winter Adirondack Mountains, the 50 high peaks in every state. And then they call them 14ers, I think, down in South America too. So avid climber. And one of the things he said was nobody reaches the mountaintop alone.
Right.
Nobody.
Right.
And that's really something special, especially, when in context of the podcast or with people that come on and talk, it's like they're investing their time into these messages that people are gonna benefit from. I already know it. It's the reason why that, I want to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And another analogy real quick was you kind of mentioned like the momentum's insurmountable at this point. Like you've invested for so long. Now you're reaping the benefits of that relationship being so solid. And to the sacrifice point, like it's clear in your relationship that that's what you've done for each other for decades and decades. And analogy that we had from the Brothers podcast we did with me and my 3 brothers was the iceberg. Like icebergs aren't the tippy top. Like that's like 5%.
Yeah.
That's like 10% small. The building part underneath, the foundation underneath is what's way more important. So in parenting, that's loving your kids. In marriage, that's sacrifice and service of your spouse. And then, everything else is kind of secondary.
Right. Right.
What's in your home ultimately, that's kind of what you need to be focusing on.
Right. Right.
So great. Well, I can't think of a better way to end it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, this was fun. This is by far my favorite set. So all my podcasts will be from here now.
We got Bridget in there. So.
Bridget, guest co-star.
So your guests your audience could look at something attractive rather than our 2 ugly mugs. Yeah.
Instead of us, that's for sure. Well, good. Thank you. This is so fun.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, Brock. Yeah. Thank you.
And anytime. This is going to be the second time of many. So
yeah. Thank
you,
Brock.
Awesome. All right, folks. That's it. We're going to see you on the next one.